Shalom. Call halal Yahweh by Shema Shai by Hasham Kadash. Double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathens that look like the heathen. And to the Akwath that are listening and learning to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And just pondering on the video that I did last night in the continuing news about, this African summit with the whole of Africa, all the different nations in Africa that are siding with Russia, because it's fulfilling prophecy in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. Let me grab that, because they're major prophecies. This is the last moments of the last days, and it's all playing out. Right? And I'm going to play a couple of video clips and then, bring out some scriptures just to round it all out. But this is Ezekiel 38. I think it's 7 and 8 is what I want. Oh, no. Ezekiel 38. So like he's taking his time. Should have just grabbed my regular Bible. All this technology is failing. It's all failing. There we go. I think. Let's see if it actually. Okay. There we go. Ezekiel 30. Still haven't pulled up yet, though. Damn it. Well, you know what? When I act like that, we'll just grab a Bible off the shelf. Here we go. Things still haven't popped up yet. That's crazy. I'm just curious now. It's like, it just won't pop up. All right. Hope it doesn't do that when I try to go to TikTok. But because I was gonna show, play, not really show, but just play a couple videos and then go on to the scriptures. Let's go to Ezekiel 38. And 7 and 8, and it reads, "Be thou prepared, and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and thou be a guard unto them." See Russia, all right, is going to be, Gog and Magog is going to be a guard unto these nations. That a house divided cannot stand. The nation of Edom is divided. And the Lord is going to use the Edomites in Russia to destroy the Edomites of the West. And all these other nations are joining unto them. This is 38. "And after many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword and gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have always been a waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them." So out of all this, Israel is going to prevail and dwell safely alone. And all these other nations are going to, because after the Lord uses Gog and Magog, he's going to destroy them as well. All right, there can be no mountains and hills. Mountains and hills represents governments in the Bible. Mountains represents large governments. Hills represent small ones. And the only government that's going to stand is the government of heaven, which is going to be ruled over by who the world ignorantly and fraudulently calls Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai, and he's the king over Israel forever. The new government, which is going to be led by King David, who is also Peter. All right, because Peter was given the keys to the kingdom, but Peter was promised kingship of Israel forever, and the government is going to be set up of the 144,000 found in Revelation, the 7th chapter, 12,000. From each tribe, beginning with the 12, with King David, aka Peter, sitting at the top of that, under the authority of who the world calls ignorantly and fraudulently calls JC, whose name is Yahushai. All right. And so what you're witnessing is Esau's Edom being brought, world being brought to an end. They're actually falling right before. So no matter what they do to us, we already have the victory. This is Isaiah 14. I'm going to start at verse 10. And it reads, all they speak and say unto thee, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou also like unto us? All right. That's what these African nations are saying. All right. And they're literally cursing out the West of their of all this wickedness they've done. And on top of that, the world was made for our sakes. Thus said the Bible. You can get that in Second Ezra. All right. So all the wealth that's in Africa, all right, because that is the wealthiest, it's still the wealthiest continent on the planet as far as resources go. The inhabitants, that's the complaint. The Africans are finally realizing that we're wealthy, but yet all these white people are getting rich off of us. Why are they getting rich off of what's ours? But it's not even theirs. It don't belong to the Hamites. It belongs to the Israelites. So all those dark-fleshed Hamites, and along with the rest of the people, all of you going under subjection under the Israelites, and all the resources in Africa belong to the Israelites, not to the Hamitic Africans themselves. All right. But anyway, it says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and thy noise and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and worms cover thee, and worms are associated with death. In America, its infrastructure, its morality, its strength is all rotting. It's all full of worms. It's decaying. All right. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? That you know that Lucifer means light bearer. All right. And Esau is a self-appointed light bearer. They call themselves the Illuminati, the illuminated ones. All right. It says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into the heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars. And I will sit upon the mount of the congregations in the side of the north. And they do. They sit in Washington, D.C., in the sides of the north. And they rule over, they've ruled with cruelty over the whole world. All right. And once they went into the heavens, all right, that changed everything. All right. They put the satellites up there and they were able to achieve flight. And they actually have been on the decline ever since. Because it's not a coincidence that Ezekiel 37 took place. That the children's hearts were turned back to the Father, and that was back through the Heavenly Father, and that was through Abba Bibbins, who fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. All right, and he came back, and he did what he had to do, and now, and America's been on a constant decline ever since they went into the heavens, starting what 69, 70, all the way up until now. It all goes together like a puzzle piece. That's why it says this is a great mystery. But verse 13, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into the heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of heaven, which are the Israelites, and I will sit also in the mount of the congregations in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights and the clouds, and I will be like the Most High. And that's what they're trying to do with this whole digital thing. This whole digital thing. They're trying to be like the Most High. And it says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. All right. And it says, and they should, and so if it's, and that's that hell, according to Christianity, is a myth, the way that their analogy of it. Because how could Satan be brought bound to hell when he's already in hell? Duh. If he's ruling over hell, and then you got to remember, it says that the hell and death will be thrown into the lake of fire. How can hell be thrown into the lake of fire if the lake of fire is in hell? See, these people are just beyond stupid with their beliefs that's not backed up by the scriptures. But anyway, verse 16, and this is how you know that Lucifer is talking about a man, people, a race. And here it is. It says, and they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble and did shake kingdoms? All right, is this the man? And give me like 10 seconds. I need to go grab something. Yeah, I'm back. Someone at the door. Had to send them away. All right, but let's get back into it. Find this video now.
All right, Christian. So now we got aliens to deal with too.
Oh boy! Whoa! Wow! And that I wasn't even trying to get that.
Is have such a good digital twin that you
Come on now, shut up. Let me find what I want. That's one thing I hate about TikTok. You turn it on, it just starts playing stuff. It doesn't let you go to where you want to go. You know, right out the gate. But anyway, here. You know what? Let's play this one first. My brother, Kazak.
Yeah. To all you goddamn scoffers, man. You know? To all you scoffers. Amazon lunch. Pay with your palm. This really just gonna be the video. Because spend too much time, they gonna be shaking for me, you know? But it's it. You know? Why is this here? Look at that. See what it's coming to. So we'll be the joke for right now, but very soon the joke gonna be on you.
Shoot, the joke is already on them. If you're still following IUIC or ISUPK, you deserve the grievous death that's coming to you at this point. All right, because that is another one of the prophecies that's leading up to all. This is what they're fighting for. Dominance over currency and all that, because all these African nations are signing on to be a part of Russia, but they're going to be a part of a social credit system. They're going to be debt slaves to them. All right, so Russia's not here to save Africa or anyone else or any other nations that's joined unto them. They're here to get dominance. Esau is fighting Edom. So if they were to win, you still would end up in the same boat. Maybe the Russians are less of a tyrant than the Western nations, but they'll still be tyrannical. So there is no winning. The only winning is with Yahushua. All right. Let me go back to Isaiah. And I'm going to jump up to verse 18 through 22. And it says, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of the grave like an abominable branch, as the raiment of those that are slain through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for her children, for the iniquities of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name of remnant, and son and nephew, saith the Lord, saith Yahweh. So the Lord's going to cut off Esau, Edom. All right, whether they be from the west or from the east. And he's gonna use them to annihilate and break themselves, and then he's gonna come in and finish them all off. All right, that is what is about to happen. Okay, with all these nations that are joining unto to the BRICS nations, with Russia and China being the head of that. But here we go.
They are arresting European nationals in Niger Republic. You heard what I said? The military coup leader of Niger Republic have announced that all European nationals that are still in their country should be arrested. Now let me show you guys something, right? Breaking news. The new Nigerian government have ordered the armed forces to arrest any European nationals still in their country until France and other Western power agree to withdraw their military forces from Niger. Can you imagine? So currently as we speak, all European nationals that are still in Niger Republic are being arrested and forward for prosecution. Guys, what are your thoughts? Drop a comment respectfully. They are arresting European nationals in Niger Republic. You
Now,
heard
now
what
I
I
have to
said?
tell you,
The
man.
military.
Seeing all those Edomite law enforcement guys on their knees, bound with their hands behind their back, all right, being shown to be the criminals that they are and not law enforcement. That image is worth its weight in gold. All right, that is beautiful because that is exactly what is about to happen. All right, they're gonna have no power, no authority. Their pomp is being brought. Lucifer is being brought down. All right, and it's his own policies and ways that's doing it to him. All right, let's go to Psalms 109. We get ready to wrap this up. This is because they're gonna get judgment without mercy who showed no mercy, and I'm quoting James 2:13. All right, but let's go to Psalms. 109. I'm gonna start at verse 1. It's a lot of reading. I'm gonna go probably read all the way to about 20 because there's quite a few points in here that I want to hit. But this is Psalms 109:1, and it reads, "Hold not thy peace, O power of my praise. For the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are opened up against me. They have spoken against me with the lying tongue. They lie about our race, who we are. They lie about the doctrine. They lie about our complexion. They lie about history." All right. Everything with them is a lie. All right. They're the dangerous people that are actually causing harm, and they say that we are. Okay. You know, even in the daily news, that's the FBI statistics for years, because I've been studying this, have shown that there are more violent crimes and more acts of violence and criminal acts done by whites in America than so-called blacks, so-called whites, than so-called blacks. But yet, on the evening news, even in foreign news, they omit and keep all those stories out of the mainstream media, and they break their necks to find an image of some dumbass Jake, especially if it's a Negro committing a stupid crime, and that's what they'll blast all over the TV. So you're not getting a fair share because according to the statistics, when robberies, murders, rapes, all the major crimes, petty crimes, often is Jake outnumbered the so-called white man, but in all these major crimes, it's always white males. But it doesn't reflect that in the media. So that's a good example of what it says. Their deceitful tongue. They're lying. All right, verse 3. They oppressed me about also with words of hatred and fought against me without a cause. All right, for in fact, this should have been highlighted. I'm bookmarking this, so I can highlight it and put precepts to it. Now that I've really started to master this app. But it says, "For my love, they are my adversaries, but I give unto myself, I give myself unto prayer, and they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love." And we've loved them, and all they've done was given us evil. We've died in their battles, stood up in their causes. My people have done everything in support of these people, and still get nothing but death and destruction as a result of it. All right. It says, "When he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayer become a sin. Let his days be few, and let another take his office. Let his children be fatherless, and his wife be a widow. Let his children be continually vagabonds and beg. Let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places." And you're starting to see that in America with Edom. It's beautiful. A lot of the homeless is Edom now. All right. It says, "Let his children be continually vagabonds and beg. Let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places. Let the extortioner catch all that he have, and let the stranger spoil his labor." So, hey, he's gonna be getting his door kicked in, his house spoiled, and his wife ravished. All right, his belongings taken from him, confiscated. All right. His work, his labor being used for free. All right. It says, let there be none to extend mercy unto him, neither let there be any favor his to his father, any to favor his fatherless children. Wow. Let his prosperity be cut off in the generation following. Let the name be blotted out. They become a persona non grata. The so-called white man is quickly becoming a persona non grata. All right. It says, let them be before Yahweh continually, that he may cut off memory of them from the earth. And that's when Obadiah happens. Obadiah, you know, when that, because the Edomites are still here. All right. The Lord returns to a world ruled by Edom. All right. In the Jewish Targums is been revealed that the Romans, the Greeks, were the nation of Edom. It's as simple, as plain as that. All right. They became white in 1681. They labeled themselves that. All right. Right. It says when you Google who are the descendants of Esau today, there's a Jewish tradition streaming from the Talmud that the descendants of Esau would eventually become Romans and, a larger extent, all Europeans. And there it is. Because they took over. They took over Greece. They took over Rome. And after Rome fell, the Dark Ages came when the citizens of Rome, the low level people, rose up, mostly in the militaries and servants, and took over all of Europe. And that's why it was called the Dark Ages, because Dark Ages was dark people were ruling. Then you had the Renaissance. The Renaissance meaning rebirth. The rebirth what? The rebirth of Rome. The rebirth of the so-called white man's power structure. That's why all Renaissance art is geared around paleness and pale people. And then they fraudulently try to write themselves into history to everything that happened in the earlier part of the 14th, 13th century, all the way back to year one, which is a lie. Okay? During the time of the medieval and the Dark Ages, dark people were ruling, and there's physical evidence of that fact higher than a mountain. All right? And if you can even find it on the regular internet. It's so much of it, they can't even scrub it all. All right? So it's just too much evidence to prove that point. But let's get back to the scripture and finish it out. It says, I start at verse 15. Let them be before Yahweh continually, that he may cut off memory of them from the earth, because that he remembered not to show mercy, but persecuted the poor and the needy, that he might even slay the broken in heart. And as he loved cursing, so let it come unto him. As he delight not in blessings, so let it be far from him. As he had clothed himself with cursing, like as with the garment, so let it come into his bowel like water, and like oil in his bones. Let it be unto him as a garment which covereth him, from the girdle wherewith he is girdled continually. I always say the curses are the Esau, Edom, and the heathen, but mainly Esau, Edom are starting to wear the curses like a coat, like a garment. All right. Let this be the reward of mine adversaries from Yahweh, and them that speak evil against my soul. So even speaking against the Hebrew Israelites, this is going to be your end result. All right. And they're gonna continue to speak and talk shit until we have our feet on their necks. With that, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakak Wadash, Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yasserala, Shalom.